So for this next segment, we want a clean slate. And what that means is we're going to get rid of everything in the project. So I'm going to delete all the folders. We don't need them, it'll be fine. Now, in deleting all of the folders, we're also going to be deleting this sample scene, so we're going to have to make a new scene from scratch and put it into our assets here, which you can do from right-clicking inside of this box and going up to Create. The first thing that we need is a scene, because without a scene we can't really do anything. We're going to give the scene a name, and we're going to open it up. No need to save sample scene because it's gone. So in a new scene you have a main camera and a directional light. We're going to get rid of both of these two. Because there's no main camera, I'm also going to open up the scene view in the full screen here so that we can see a little bit better. So in this scene I'm going to make a couple of really basic objects. Right-clicking in each one of the windows is going to do something different, generally in the hierarchy in the project view here. In the hierarchy, you have the opportunity to create a new object, a 3D object like a cube, which instantly creates a cube and places it in your scene view. Now the cube is very bland because it's not lit at all, regardless of whether or not we have light in our scene or not. So this is a totally unlit scene here. There's really no detail, even if we take all the light out. So if we want a light, we right-click in the hierarchy, select light, and get a directional light, which is a sun. And now you can see we have a great deal more detail already. We can take that away again, but you really want this highlighted most of the time. So this we can press F2. F2 is the universal renaming in Windows, and we're going to name this our sun. I also generally put the sun at least a little bit high up in the sky so that I know it's a sun. I'll also make it a little bit bigger on its icon so that we know that it's there. Now our cube is quite bland and boring, so the first thing that we're going to do with it is go to Create, which is right-clicking in Project, Create, Material. A material is something that goes onto an object that gives it color and occasionally other details. If I want to put a material onto an object, I just have to drag it from the project view, hold the mouse button, and drag it onto this cube. So nothing apparently changes because our material is no different than the default. However, it needs to be. So you can also access it down here below. When I click on this material, I have a number of options. For the most part, we're just going to be using this albedo, which is our RGB. So if I change this, I can instantly create a new color on our cube here. Now if I have more than one object, say also a sphere, I can apply this material cube here, change it in the project view, and it changes across both. Because again, our project view is kind of our factory. So in doing this, we can start to set up a pretty simple room by creating planes, changing where they are, creating a number of more planes here. Let's say we need some more cubes. I'm going to move them over here. And as I expand these objects and change them, we get significantly more detail in our environment. And eventually, pressing Ctrl D will duplicate. We can create a rudimentary room. Duplicate. And if I change some of these numbers around, it'll be different. Negative 5.5 on each. This will be 5.5 because it's symmetrical. And we have a very, very basic room. And now we can create new materials for each of these and change them appropriately to whatever it is that we want at the time. Just have to drag all of these up. The change isn't apparent immediately. And if we change it here, we have a basic room. Now that's going to be our real quick on scene creation here. And we'll start the next one in a moment.